distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is with pride, a sense of national mission, and a boundless optimism that I welcome you to the 9th Nigeria Raw Materials Niram Expo, co-located with the 8th Nigerian Manufacturing and Equipment NME Expo. This is one of such important moments where our collective vision for an industrialized Nigeria takes shape. The Niram NME Expo is not a typical biannual event. It is a strategic platform where Nigeria's industrial future is debated, designed, and driven. It brings together policymakers, researchers, and manufacturers, technology providers, financiers, innovators, and investors under one roof to showcase advances in local sourcing, beneficiation, and industrial utilization of Nigeria's raw materials, fostering partnerships to reduce import dependence, boost domestic production, and stimulate indigenous industrialization. It serves as a hub for B2B engagements, technical exchanges, investment mapmaking, and strategic industrial networking. This aligns with the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, which prioritizes industrialization, job creation, and inclusive economic growth. This year's theme, Accelerating Sustainable Manufacturing through Cutting-Edge Technology Solutions, is more than a reflection of global trends. It is a clarion call for Nigeria to decisively reposition itself within the dynamics of the fourth industrial revolution. As you very well know, Nigeria's manufacturing contributions to the GDP remains below 10%, registering 9.62% in Q1 of 2025 and dropping from 9.8 it achieved in the same period last year. Meanwhile, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria reports shows that raw material imports surged by 119% to 4.53 trillion in the first 9 months of 2024 alone. At the same time, over 70% of manufacturing inputs used in our economy are imported, according to figures released earlier this year. These data points expose a structural weakness. We export our raw materials in their crude form, import refined quality, and surrender jobs and value offshore before we have even begun. But our country possesses over 120 commercially viable solid minerals, vast agricultural resources, and a demographic dividend in our young population. It means, therefore, that what we lack is not potential, but strategic coordination, bold implementation, and technology-backed commitment, which is precisely what this Expo intends to trigger. As the world transitions into smart, circular, and efficient production systems, we must not lag. Our duty is clear. Integrate advanced technologies, foster resource efficiency, promote inclusive local content development, and institutionalize sustainability as a national industrial ethos. At the Raw Material Research and Development Council, this year's NME Niram Expo theme finds its truest embodiment in our recently commissioned research and demonstration plant complex, which is the nerve center of national industrial reawakening. Housed at the restored Obasanjo Space Center in Abuja, this complex showcases more than 50 locally designed and fabricated pilot plants comprising, among others, machinery for turning cassava into sorbitol, talc into pharmaceutical-grade powder, shea into essential oils, and so much more. At the RDPC, each reverse-engineered or painstakingly home-built process equipment is proof that Nigeria can transform raw materials into wealth right from here. For instance, the visiting delegation during the 2025 Africa Raw Materials Summit described the site not as a display of machines, but as a statement of intent and a game changer towards industrial self-reliance. I encourage all of us to pay the RDPC a visit next time you are in Abuja, and let us support each other. Similarly, last month, Nigeria achieved a watershed legislative milestone aimed at channeling global capital into raw material processing technologies, with the Senate formally passing the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Establishment Amendment Bill of 2025, mandating that no raw materials may leave our shores unless they have undergone at least 30% local processing or value addition within Nigeria's own soil. From cassava to platinum ore, this marks a turning point, from exporting raw jobs to nurturing them into our own soil. This positive development not only makes the challenge of cutting-edge technology for raw material processing both imperative and urgent, but holds the ace for providing global investors with the legislative confidence they require to invest in processing technologies and domestic processing of raw materials. To further strengthen this emerging progress in raw material processing, the federal government granted RMRDC the authority to implement significant tax incentives, guidelines designed to reward manufacturers and innovators using locally sourced inputs in their production processes. Very soon, manufacturers who research, develop, and patronize local raw materials will pay significantly lower taxes than those who do not. This is now an instrumental tool for attracting private sector investment and stimulating technology-driven manufacturing. This landmark approval, transmitted by the indefatigable Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Chief Uche Geoffrey Energy, and endorsed by the Ministry of Finance, entitles compliant firms in agro-processing, pharmaceutical.
Say it with all confidence, you are Your Excellency. Because you are quality and we value your presence. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the CEO, News Central TV, Mr. Kayode Akintemi. Thank you so much for being a part of this event. You're welcome. And I hear that the MD of Shell Nigeria Gas is represented by the Sales and Commercial Manager, Shell Nigeria Gas Limited, Eziogo Olotu. Please, a round of applause for Eziogo Olotu. The person will come up later to give a goodwill message. Now, to save our time, our guest speaker or keynote address speaker is someone of quality. And so I don't further intimidate you with his CV or his profile, let his presentation do justice and will be followed by a resounding applause. So to deliver the keynote address on the choice of theme we have chosen for this event, I have the honor of inviting the Chief Executive Officer, Open Access Data Centers. Please, let's give a resounding welcome for Dr. Ayotunde Koka, FCIOD. That applause is not resounding. We can do better. Thank you so much. Let's keep clapping as it comes at stage. Thank you so much, Doctor. We are happy to have you. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real honor to be here with such a distinguished audience doing the keynote. I'm delighted and very honored indeed. Next slide, please. I'm sorry, just keep telling them to push the slides. I'm talking about sustainable manufacturing through technology innovation. And as I put together, thinking through this keynote, you go down memory lane. And as much as things have changed, so many things have stayed the same. However, in my own memory lane, putting it in the Nigeria context, sort changes as well. And what I thought, I studied mechanical engineering, graduated mid-1980s, University of South Wales. And my first job was in manufacturing. Turner Newell at the time built vehicle parts, so on, large company in the UK. I was a total quality manager at the time on transforming quality in terms of inherent quality, where you'd have scrap rate for back. Could you imagine 20% of what you produce is scrap? I guess lots of manufacturers face that from issues we just face here these days. I moved that to around about 0.01% through a whole range of things. So a lot of what we did then in quality management is now what is called Six Sigma. So that's what, 40 years ago. And now that pervades a lot of what you do. So I then went on to do a postgraduate, sponsored by Ford of Europe, postgraduate in manufacturing systems engineering at Cranfield University. And then worked on optimizing Ford Motor Company's supply chain logistics across Europe and paint shop quality production processes. And you know, we try to do AI. AI has been around for all this time. We've just been trying to push the limits of what technology and calculations and everything could give us. And then, you know, worked in Ford of Europe and did a project in Europe with Mobil Oil and their loop manufacturing plants. And, you know, the MRP systems, then you had MRP, MRP2, and so on. They have the scheduling systems, and the very, very key thing is sort of, however you could do it, the AI that allows you to put in the limits of value chain production limits, capacity limits, and then using that to derive your production plan. So much has changed, but going back, much hasn't changed. It's the same thing with GlaxoSmithKline in the UK, putting together using big data to optimize the way they report and optimize their manufacturing systems. I would say the same thing is happening here, and lots of companies going through these processes. However, what you have to factor in are the external shocks and idiosyncrasies that you have to somehow plan into your production schedules and the unforeseen circumstances, which in all industries, not just manufacturing, we all have to sort of figure out how to cope with and optimize around. And it's not just Nigeria, it's an Africa thing. So people say, what's open access data centers? I'll run through that very quickly. That's just context. The meat of the presentation is really the pillars, conceptual value for proposition framework. I'll look at digitization, the circular economy, energy and power. It's not just how do we do sustainability from the environmental problem, but in Nigeria, how we build sustainable manufacturing framework, and how we would see that increasing as a percentage of GDP as we go forward. If I just wave my hand, just please go forward. So very quickly, open access data centers, we have and operate data centers across Africa. We have a very large one here in Lekki. Data centers are where you put all of your IT systems. So it's managed, it's a bit like a hotel, well-managed, right temperature, right humidity hotel for IT systems. And they're very, very lovingly cared for with very high security. So it's part of the WIRE group, which has been around Africa 18 years. We build backbone connectivity and subsea cable connectivity for Africa into the world. You might know of the Google Equiano. We landed in Lagos. That's a consortium partner, including To Africa, Metas To Africa, which is landing in Lagos, Kwaibo, and across Africa. And we're building metro networks across Lagos. So you have fiber to your office or fiber to the home, open access to transform connectivity. A lot of what we talk about here is underpinned by technology, which is underpinned by power, underpinned by data centers, underpinned by connectivity. So that's it. I've gone all the way around in financial services and just doing the technology frameworks that support businesses. So that's a brief. Those are the countries we operate in. Nigeria, big one in Lagos, DR Congo. Kinshasa is very much like Lagos, actually. Very interesting, challenging place to be, but in just practical ways. It's developing. It's a great place to be, vibrant, just like Lagos. And in South Africa, 4 big ones and 30 others, and we're expanding across the continent, okay? And that's the big one in Lagos, in Lekki, by Jakonde, okay? And is building out to bring out all of the big cloud, global cloud providers and so on, so that we can have cloud services in Nigeria to underpin our manufacturing environment. So that's that. So I'll talk around, sort of core infrastructure platforms, broad, not necessarily technology, the circular economy, digitization, energy, and power in the context of sustainable manufacturing here. So digitization, much as said, lots digitization has been going on for the last 50 years. We've actually been digitizing through the first industrial revolution, second industrial revolution. Anyone around about late 50s to 60 has probably lived through 4 industrial revolutions now. The third one with compute coming in, 4th industrial revolution. So much so with AI now and blockchain, we may be walking to the advent of the 5th industrial revolution. So characterized by quite a few things actually, blockchain, AI, Internet of Things. These are the realities of what we have to innovate with right now. I speak to people and they say, well, given the cost of labor and the cost of these technologies, perhaps, I'll just hire a lot of people to do the work and so on. You see, automation allows you to get repeatability. It allows you to create the right quality of work environment for people. It allows you to build scale, and it allows you to build very, very high quality consistently. Total quality management has always shown that. So in the environment we're in, we have to look at all of the opportunities to automate. And when we automate our value chain, this is where blockchain technology. You see, what we have here, we call it blockchain technology and AI. These things are actually embedded in a lot of the software we use, and we need to use to drive our manufacturing processes. General systems automation, administrative automation, office productivity tools, where you also have AI in. 3D printing is interesting, you see, because how do you scale it? But you need to optimize it for certain aspects of what you do. I sort of see this as a broad range of possibilities. And Internet of Things are just the way you use technology to measure what you're doing, to capture the information, to drive it even into the AI tools and the blockchain tools that you need to use. For instance, optimizing the supply chain and the value chain. I spoke at a fintech conference. I did a keynote at a Nigerian fintech conference last week. And the fintech and manufacture tech and edutech and all of these are so interwoven. The key thing is how to optimize all of these things in managing, one, the business, but also in managing the value chain and the supply chain. Automated payment processing, for instance, processes of paying suppliers into also managing the customer interaction efficiently, getting customer insights so that you can optimize the value chain. These are very key technologies to enable the sustainability and optimization. So one of the key things also, another part of the pillars, what is the circular economy? At the Lagos Chamber of Commerce, I'm the chair of the Science, Energy and Technology Committee. And we took the stand of driving this circular economy debate. We've done 2 conferences over the last 2 years. The 3rd one is coming up in October. What has been actually really quite eye-opening is how advanced the circular economy industry is in Lagos, in the country, but Lagos itself. And it gets richer and richer and richer by the day. Really, the way it comes into materials use, the processes, the efficiency of the processes, and it's a circular process. I crept this one off the internet. So I said to AI, saves me, there you go, just efficiencies, right? Saves me having to do a slide. But this is what I want to talk about, And in all of that stuff, I find this thing, and it saved me probably 2 hours of work, But it tells the story. And this is what we've been seeing in circular economy conferences that we've had. Getting the designer manufacturer through to the retail supply chain processes, reuse, repair, recycle, get it back through the system and optimize as much as you can, okay? It allows us to, efficiency, sustainability does not mean you pay more to get sustainability, environmental sustainability. You can actually also turn that round into it being a key cost and process efficiency saver. And then you go to energy and power. In operating data centers in Africa compared to what you find in Europe and in the US, it's a great leveler. Everybody has an energy problem. We now need huge amounts of energy to drive technology, to drive data centers, to drive very energy-intense manufacturing processes. So you tend to find there's a cycle. You got your core energy and a sub-energy one you have to have 100% energy. However, what is also important here is that the key things for sustainable energy, which are hydro and gas, you see, solar and wind are clean, but there are practical issues in terms of intensity of solar. In lightweight residential use, we're finding the effectiveness around, and it's transforming a lot there. But for high-level industrial use, it comes with a whole set of limitations. And it's the same thing with wind. The consistency of wind, you get it at certain times of day. In some ways, it's nice to have weather like that that's relatively still, but it means that we cannot get this sort of industrialization through wind that we could do. But two things that we do get is hydro and gas. Gas generation in Nigeria is around about 70% or more of total generation. Hydro is very green, what we have, but they tend to be at certain locations and actually tend to be cyclical. Because once you get to February, March, April, you find that the outputs from hydro can be compromised because of the dry season, okay? But gas itself is identified as one of the greener fossil fuels. Technically, it's acknowledged that that's the case. And we have it in abundance in Nigeria. So from what we're building a 24 megawatt size for just the IT load data center in Lagos, I'm already strategically thinking about how am I going to get 50 megawatts of generated power available to me to drive that. But it's what we have to engineer, but make sure we have the gas availability. Apart from gas at scale, it's nuclear, right? Even the UK is rethinking about its use of gas as well. But I don't think we'll be allowed by the International Energy Authority to use nuclear to drive data centers or, for that matter, manufacturing facilities in Nigeria. Geothermal across Africa is an interesting one. Kenya, Ethiopia, for instance. But that is actually in certain pockets where you find it at scale and you can turn it into actual energy. So that's why I say we've got to have a very practical use of generally available power utility, but captive power or collective captive power in areas of manufacturing activity. Okay? So in conclusion, in the time, as you see, there are many, many areas of discussion where we can go into detail and apply it, and I know that some of these discussions will happen in the panel sessions coming in. We want sustainable and integrated supply chains, integrated through tech, digital transformation, integration, agility. I use the technology and agility, for instance, if you had IT systems, you outsource what you can, so you can actually focus on what your core business is. And that's one way you get agility and leveraging technology through the supply chain. The circular economy in materials and processes, policy, permitting and investment support. Permitting. I've always seen that, and I saw it in the DG's speech, that one of the key areas is the dialogue both ways for permitting and investment support and policy. Because when you go on and say, we've got to have enabling policies and everything, and minister says, okay, industry, what are the enabling policies? Everybody goes, oh yeah, that's a good point. What are they? It's real. So we have to have this environment of saying, how can we think through the innovative policies that keep in line with the different environmental changes in technology that we have? I haven't gone into some of the very much improving macroeconomic currency situations that we're seeing as enablers. Not that much time, I just thought I'd mention it. Strategic capacity building and awareness in our own broad capability. I hope and trust this strikes some of the intent, some of the broader contextual subject areas that the conference will be adopting. I wish the conference sessions today and tomorrow are excellent, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to do the keynote. Thank you.
Please, another round of applause. That was Dr. Ayotunde Koka, a transformational Pan-Africa data center operator with over 35 years operational experience. So it's now, we're moving on to the goodwill messages. And I'm going to be calling on the first speaker, the first major goodwill speaker. And that will be the Executive Vice Chairman, CEO, National Agency for Science and Engineering, ably represented by Dr. Olashukwa Olayode. Please put your hands together for him as he climbs the rostrum. Yes, over here, sir. Please keep clapping for him.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Science, Innovation and Technology, Chief Geoffrey Uche Naji. The President, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, the Director General, RMRDC, other heads of federal parastatals here, directors of ministries, agencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I bring greetings to you from Mr. Khalil Suleiman Alilu, the Executive Vice Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of National Agencies for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, who is very passionate about manufacturing activities in Nigeria, especially taking R&D products to market. He would have been here, but for other pressing national engagements. So, and he has sent me to deliver this goodwill message on his behalf. So, the next that I will read now is his goodwill message. It is with great honor that I deliver this goodwill message at this occasion of the 8th Nigerian Manufacturing and Equipment Expo and the 9th Raw Material Expo 2025. Let me begin by congratulating the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, and the Raw Materials Research and Development Council for organizing and sustaining this laudable platform. Over the years, the Expo has evolved into a one-stop shop and a key rallying point for stakeholders in raw materials, manufacturing, machinery, engineering technology, and investment, making a significant contribution to Nigeria's industrial development agenda. The theme of this year's Expo, Accelerating Sustainable Manufacturing through Cutting-Edge Technology Solutions, is not only timely, but aligns with NACINI's strategic mission. As an agency positioned at the intersection of innovation, manufacturing, and engineering, NACINI is committed to driving technology-based solutions that will transform our manufacturing sector from being import-dependent to innovation-led and export-oriented through cutting-edge technologies. As Nigeria continues to navigate present economic realities, platforms like these remind us of the urgent need for synergy among us stakeholders in the realization of an end-to-end manufacturing ecosystem. Collaborative efforts remain crucial in unlocking the full potential of our local manufacturing capabilities and achieving sustainable development. At this point, let me reiterate here that NACINI and Manufacturers Association of Nigeria have come a long way in our relationship. The president of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria is a statutory member of the governing board of NACINI. NACINI, therefore, at all times will identify with programs and projects of the association. Therefore, furthermore, scientific processes and engineering designs require raw materials for their production. The Raw Material Research and Development Council, whose establishment was in the same era as NACINI's, has done very well in the area of raw materials development since its inception. Therefore, a joint expo between the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria and RMRDC is highly commendable. At NACINI, we play a critical role in supporting the manufacturing sector in Nigeria through the creation, collaboration, and commercialization model, what we call internally as 3 Cs. This model entails entering into strategic partnership with the private sector to provide engineering and scientific solutions. This approach leads to sustainable, homegrown solutions for all our products. In the last 2 years, we have remained resolute in promoting science, engineering, and the local production of critical equipment and technologies. Our ongoing programs and partnerships are designed to enhance value addition, reduce dependence on imported machinery, and encourage the growth of small and medium-scale manufacturing enterprises. We have been able to move from prototype development to over 50 market-ready products, ranging from renewable energy solutions, automobile, information and communication technology, and agriculture. I therefore assure you of NACINI's continued support and partnership as we work together to build an industrially self-reliant, resilient, and globally competitive Nigeria. We believe that forums like this create valuable opportunities to showcase indigenous capacities, inspire innovation, and foster public-private collaboration that can propel our nation's industrial advancement. I once again commend the organizers for these impactful initiatives and wish all participants fruitful engagement and a successful Expo. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Indeed, we appreciate your presence, Dr. Olasupo Oloide. It's been a long time coming, and we sincerely appreciate you. Please, let's put our hands together for him as he goes to have a seat. All right, is it me or the applause is getting colder? Thank you. Thank you. This is just the opening, so let's keep the energy up. While he was speaking, we had the presence of Mr. Governor of Lagos State, our host state. So I'm delighted to welcome the Governor of Lagos State, and is here represented by no other person, a friend to the house, particularly man. It's always a delight seeing her at our event. Please let's put our hands together for the Honorable Commissioner for Commerce, Cooperative Trade and Investment, Mrs. Folashade Bada Ambrose. She's here representing the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are happy to have you. And from the raw materials, we have Director Planning, Statistics and Policy Development Department, Mrs. Rachel Kotso. Sir, you, ma'am. Thank you so much. We're happy to have you. Now it's time for us to hear from our sponsors. We have 4 major sponsors, so I'd like to invite them from the lead to the least. We have the first person, Shell Gas Nigeria, and I'd like to invite the representative to address us in a few minutes before we listen to Mr. Governor and, of course, the Honorable Minister. So from Shell, please let's put our hands together for Ezogo Olotu. A round of applause for Ezogo Olotu as she comes forward to speak on behalf of our organization. Thank you, Shell. We are always happy to rely on you. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Your Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, here represented by the Commissioner for Commerce of Lagos State, here represented by the Commissioner for Commerce, to deliver this goodwill message at this very important forum. The Nigerian the Nigerian Equipment and Raw Manufacturers Expo represents the enabling and manufacturers. Expo represents the enabling and enduring efforts of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria and the Raw Materials Research and Development Council to turn Nigeria into a continental manufacturing hub. Equipment and raw materials are at the heart of any manufacturing activity, and their provision in the right quality quantity boosts industrial output. The Expo is therefore about the overall development of Nigeria, and Shell Nigeria Gas is pleased to identify with you as a trusted gas partner of choice powering Nigeria. Shell Nigeria Gas Limited shares in this vision. The joint delivery of this forum over the years is in pursuit of the vision of man to be the key driver for industrialization, enabling economic growth, development in Nigeria, and the goal that it has pursued assiduously since its founding in 1971. Shell Nigeria Gas shares in this vision, and we celebrate the success of a forum that is helping to bring and actualize it. Shell and this association have enjoyed a mutually rewarding relationship, not the least because we're involved in one of the very key elements of the manufacturing process, which is the provision of energy which drives manufacturing. A few months ago, we had the honor of hosting the Director General of MAN, Segun Ajayi Kadir, and other key stakeholders at our customer forum at Agbara Alta in Lagos. And one of the key things which manufacturers highlighted as keeping them awake at night were the fluctuations in foreign exchange, which makes long-term planning unsustainable, challenges with liquidity, availability of raw materials, reliability of equipment, and as well as the availability of energy to power processes. This is something that we understand and that we identify with. Shell Nigeria Gas has helped to drive energy, providing gas, which, as the keynote speaker definitely stated, it's a cleaner form of energy, one of the transition fuels which we have in abundance. In fact, Nigeria has been described more as a gas country than an oil country. And we are happy, we are poised to be at the forefront of driving this to deliver the manufacturing sector and all of its benefits. Shell Nigeria Gas was established in 1998 and is the only IOC which owns a gas distribution company in Nigeria. We're currently in a growth phase with distribution capacity of...
Please, another round of applause for Ehizoje and Olotu, the Sales and Commercial Manager, Shell Nigeria Gas Limited. Please, one thing I'm very, very particular about is the fact that the women are showing the men what real business and seriousness means. She is poised and she is focused. A no-nonsense manager. You're well done, ma. Please, another round of applause for her. Very inspirational. Next on our list is the Managing Director, Secure ID Limited, Mrs. Kofo Akinkugwe, another elegant woman coming forward. And don't forget, the subject matter is accelerating sustainable manufacturing through cutting-edge equipment technology solutions, and the women are bringing that solution. Please, a round of applause for her. She mounts the rostrum. Thank you, ma'am.
Sorry, good morning. Honorable Minister of the Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science, Technology, Chief Uche Jeffrey Naji, President of MAN, Otuba Meshoye, OFR, Director General of MAN, Shegun Akadiri, and Director General of RMRDC, Professor Kenunso. Please allow me and permit me to stand on already established protocols. Really, it's just a goodwill message. From someone that started a company that is into manufacturing and technology to produce something that Nigeria and even the African continent was depending on imports, and then to then bring it and produce it locally. These conversations that we're having today are very important to us. And that is why we're going to give it our full support. And the conversations are basically messages that we would like to see Nigeria do something about. Nigeria has a very strong entrepreneurial spirit. We're very good at bringing ideas in, starting manufacturing, starting something, but there's still the issue of how do we sustain it and how do we accelerate the sustainability of manufacturing in Nigeria and innovate as we go along. And as was said earlier on, a lot of our raw materials, and we are guilty of it, a lot of our raw materials are still being imported. Our machines are imported. You know, when are we going to get to a stage where the entire value chain is done in continent and in Nigeria? And for me, these conversations are important. We have come up with a lot of agencies, but we need to see that those agencies are optimally functioning properly, and we need to see the impact that is making on manufacturing. We would like to see a lot of our raw materials being available locally. We would like to see our machines reverse engineering done like they did in China, where we can even start with being able to manufacture our spare parts, as opposed to having your machines break down and then you're waiting for an engineer from Germany or from China to come with the spare parts and repair them. No, that isn't going to happen. So for us, our goodwill message is this particular expo and the conference we're having it's come at a very critical moment, and we would like to see that we take these conversations forward and execute them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Kofo Akikugbe OON, Secure ID Limited. And thank you so much for your sponsorship, ma'am. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are gradually coming to the end of this wonderful opening ceremony, but clearly not the end of this event, as we have a session that is coming immediately after the tour of the exhibition area. So please stay the course. We would land very shortly. Next, addressing us is the Governor of Lagos State. I'm deeply delighted to welcome Mr. Governor at this event to speak to this gathering and, of course, tell us how proud he is of the manufacturing sector and how much more he seeks to support in the sector for growth and development. Please let's make welcome the Commissioner for Commerce, Cooperatives, Trade and Investment, representing Mr. Governor, Mrs. Folashade Bada Ambrose. A round of applause for her. You're welcome. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Good morning, all. We're delighted to be here, particularly in both capacities, but more so in my capacity as well. I'd like to acknowledge the Honorable Minister, the Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology, Chief Uche Jeffrey Nnaji, sir. The Executive Vice Chairman, CEO, National Agency for Science and Engineering, Infrastructure, Alhaji Kali Sulaiman Haliu, ably represented by Dr. Olashupo Olayode. The Director General, CEO, Raw Materials Research and Development Council, Professor Inayelugo Ike Nozo. The President Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Otumba Francis Meshioye, MFR, OFR, sir. The Director General, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Dr. Segun Ajayi Kadri. Good morning, sir. The keynote speaker, CEO, Open Access Data Center, Dr. Ayotunde Koka, FC IOD. Good morning, sir. The heads of agencies and top government functionaries here present, esteemed business leaders, and chief executives, permit me to make an exception and call out the Managing Director of Secure ID, Mrs. Kofo Akinkugbe, OON. There are not many women that are doing amazing things, so she's a phenomenal one, so I'm calling her out as well, please. Distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to deliver Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu's address. It gives me great pleasure to join the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment at this significant event to celebrate two critical areas of manufacturing: the 8th Nigerian Manufacturing Equipment Expo and the 9th Nigerian Raw Materials Expo. This occasion marks a point of growth in Nigeria as we're building on our opportunities and technological adoption in the manufacturing sector. It is pertinent that we harness innovative strategies, cutting-edge technologies, and sustainable practices in order to maintain our growth. I'm delighted to illustrate some of the amazing things that's going on in Lagos State. Namely, we're currently under the Ministry of Commerce, Cooperatives, Trade and Investment, training to over 250 specially curated and selected MSMEs for the inaugural Lagos State Export Readiness Program, LASERP. And the whole essence of that really is that we want to be able to work with them and ensure that they not only can scale, have access to finance, but also are able to thrive. And sharing that specifically outlines that the fact that the future of our beloved state and country rests on the brilliance of ideas forged through collaborations like this Expo, where manufacturers, investors, policymakers, and technology experts come together to create solutions that are not only economically viable, but are environmentally responsible. Lagos State, as the economic, financial, and commercial nerve center of Nigeria and Africa's emerging tech hub, is determined to champion the cause of sustainable industrial growth, powered by innovation, technology, and local content development. The presence of notable personalities like the Honorable Minister of Innovation, Science and Tech, from the Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Tech, Chief Uche Jeffrey Nnaji, and the Minister of State for Industry and the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment illustrates that point. The Director General and the CEO of the Raw Materials Research and Development Council, RMRDC, Professor Nayeleju, I do beg your pardon, please, Nayelelugo Martin Ike Munso, the President of the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria, MAN, Otumba Francis Misioye, Dr. Zainab Lawal, the Sustainable Expert at EcoMan, the representatives from various government agencies, influential industry leaders, and experts in manufacturing and sustainability fields is a testament to the importance and urgency of this event. The 7th Expo, which was held in 2023, established the need for a vibrant manufacturing sector. I am certain that this 8th Expo is going to build on that and greatly expand the horizons, as the theme for this Expo has aptly emphasized. I'm equally sure that this platform will ensure that a veritable blueprint that will enable Nigeria to assume its position as a titan of industry will be forged. Now, with over 100 equipment manufacturers and 100 raw material suppliers, local fabricators, processors, and technology developers, as well as delegates from finance, insurance, consultancy, R&D, and the public sector in attendance, this event is showcasing the readiness of Nigeria to become a continent leader, leading in value-added manufacturing, bringing with it an optimism that the manufacturing in Nigeria will experience the much-needed boost. Lagos State remains committed to supporting the manufacturing sector through enabling policies, infrastructure development, and fostering an environment where innovation can flourish. And again, I'm going to give another example. Very soon, Mr. Governor will be launching the Lagos State Industrial Policy 2025 to 2030. Again, these are just two examples I've given, and I haven't heard any round of applause. Thank you. We recognize that embracing advanced technologies such as automation, artificial intelligence, and sustainable raw material sourcing is fundamental. Fundamental to accelerating growth while preserving our environment for future generations. I therefore commend the organizers and sponsors for providing a platform that fosters the exchange of knowledge, fosters partnership building, and fosters the showcasing of cutting-edge technologies. These collective efforts will undoubtedly accelerate Nigeria's industrialization journey, reduce import dependence, and create resilient and competitive supply chains capable of meeting the demands of the 21st century. So I look forward to the many positive outcomes of this event, and I wish you all a very productive Expo. Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Governor, for that address. And just like you said, you're wearing two caps, representing the governor and, of course, your humble self and your distinguished office. And thanks for all you do for manufacturers in Lagos State, but the Ogun State government will argue that they pamper manufacturers more. But hearing you speak so well, manufacturers in Lagos sincerely renewed confidence in what the Lagos State government is doing and will continue to do. And of course, to Professor Martin Ikemonso, I saw how you tried to pronounce the name. You know, it's a raw material, and you need a manufacturing skill to pronounce that name. I tried to run away from the pronunciation until I am fully licensed to pronounce it appropriately. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's always a delight having you. And so to His excellency at this event. You know, earlier I'd said that we are all excellencies. So let me emphasize with some echo in my voice by inviting His Excellency at this event to address us. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's kindly give a resounding applause as a welcome His Excellency, Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology, Chief Uche Geoffrey Unaji, as he comes forward to address us at this event. Please, a round of applause for him as he comes forward. Thank you so much. We are happy to have you, just like we did in 2023, and we look forward to all the message you have in store for us. You're very much welcome, sir.
It's going to be better. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, ably represented by the Commissioner of Commerce, Cooperative, Trade and Investment, Mrs. Folashade Bada Ambrose, the DG Raw Material Research and Development Council, Professor Martin Sinailugo Ikemonso, the DG Naseni, ably represented by Dr. Olayode, my good friend, the President of MAN, Otumba Francis Meshioye, the DG of MAN, Shegu Ajayi Kadri, the Directors of Raw Material Research and Development Council here present, and their staff, my very good friend, the former DG Nota, an eloquent speaker, a well-known one for that matter, Dr. Bindri, the keynote speaker, the CEO, Open Access Data Center, Dr. Ayokoka. You delivered very, very well. Members of the diplomatic corps, very distinguished stakeholders in industry, raw materials, science and technology ecosystem, using Chief Afamo Kereke, who is a manufacturer of a submarine cable in Nigeria, as a point of contact to all of you. Members of the Fourth Estate of the Rim, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to speak to you today at the joint Nigerian Manufacturing and Equipment Expo and Nigeria Raw Materials Expo. This annual event has become a key platform for moving Nigeria's manufacturing sector forward. It brings together people who are passionate about growing our industries and shaping a better future for our country. The theme of this year, Accelerating Sustainable Manufacturing Through Cutting-Edge Equipment and Technology Solutions, is both timely and important. At the ministry, where I head, we believe that innovation and technology are the keys to progress and prosperity for Nigeria. This event is more than an exhibition. It is a call to action to use new ideas, smart technology, and strong partnerships to boost manufacturing and create real opportunities for our people, especially the youths. We must ensure every policy, investment, and innovation creates real opportunities for young Nigerians and give them hope for the future. This Expo supports many of the President's top priorities, like economic growth, innovation, infrastructure, education, and good governance. Let us use this time to work together and turn plans into action. The world is moving fast. Countries that invest in advanced technologies are growing quickly and creating good jobs. We must do the same. That is why our ministry is supporting research, promoting local technology, and encouraging industries to add value to Nigerian raw materials before exports. We know there are challenges, such as high costs, limited access to finance, infrastructure gaps. Solving these problems requires teamwork across government, business, and the wider community. Let us learn from global success stories and build strong partnerships right here in Nigeria. The government sees hard work of our manufacturers and entrepreneurs, and we are here to support you with real solutions and policies. As I declare this Expo open, I encourage everyone to connect, share ideas, and make the most of this opportunity. Let us make this a turning point for Nigeria's manufacturing and industrial growth. Thank you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you so much, the Honorable Minister. Sir, before you have your seat, I'd like to invite the President of MAN to kindly come up stage. We have a token to present to you at this event. Shortly after the presentation, we'll have the DG deliver the vote of thanks, and we see to the official opening ceremony of the exhibition we're seeing today. So at some point during the vote of thanks, that entrance would be blocked with a ribbon. So kindly hand over to Mr. President to present to the Honorable Minister.
Honorable Minister, sir, it's been very wonderful to the private sector and to the manufacturers in particular. Like I said, the last time we were here, you came and you spent all the time with us. This is a token of appreciation by the manufacturers of Nigeria, and not primarily the manufacturers of Nigeria at last. Thank you very much for coming, and we look forward to an improved and more cordiality in creating technology that really grows our manufacturers sector in particular. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So we can have the ribbon to cordon off that area. I will be doing the cutting of the ribbon after. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Then next, Mr. President will wait behind, and you would present the next plaque to the keynote speaker at this event. Thank you, Your Excellency. You can have your seat for now, then we'll declare the exhibition open later. I'd like to invite our keynote speaker at this event. Please let's put our hands together for Dr. Ayatunde Koka as he comes to receive a token of appreciation for doing a distinguished presentation at this event. Thank you.
This is a token of appreciation to Dr. Ayatunde Koka, the Chief Executive Officer of Open Access Data Centers, as keynote speaker. Thank you, and we've learned a lot from what you have said this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. President. And now you can have your seat. Thank you, sir. So to present the next set of token of appreciation, I'd like to invite the DG RMRDC, Professor Ike Monsor, to do the honors of presenting the next presentation. Prof, please let's have you on stage. Thank you. And the MAN president actually shares something in common with the two people he presented to. First, the minister is also wearing white, the other with complexion. And it's such a coincidence that that similarity occurs. Now, for the DG RMRDC, they would be saying thank you to our sponsors at this event. So first, I'd like to invite Shell, Shell Gas Nigeria Limited to please come forward. We are saying a big thank you to you for supporting this event, and we clearly are recording the success because you believed in this project. Thank you.
So we thank you so much, Shell, for all the support you've given to us for this event. This is a token of appreciation for that.
Thank you so much, Shell Nigeria Gas. We appreciate your support. Thank you. And the next person the DJ RML will be presenting to is sponsor Secure ID Limited. Please let's put our hands together for the CEO as she comes forward to receive a token of appreciation. Please, do we have Zenith Bank rep, Jubali Bros? Kindly wave if you are in the room. Zenith Bank, Jubali Bros. All right.
Thank you so much, ID, and thank you personally for the wonderful job you're doing and for the sponsorship of this event. This is a token of appreciation.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, DG. You can have your seat. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying the course. Like I said, the DG would be, DG of Man will be delivering the vote of thanks. But that's clearly not the end of the event. It's just marking the opening ceremony. We have another session that will be starting exactly 1:10, which would be after the tour of the exhibition. So all our exhibitors should kindly get ready. As soon as the vote of thanks is gone, the Honorable Minister and other dignitaries will do a tour of the exhibition area. So can we actually use a ribbon to close that entry point? That is where the curtain will happen. So all the cameramen, the photojournalists should use outside the hall now before the DG's vote of thanks. And so, to delivering the vote of thanks and closing remarks at this very beautiful opening ceremony, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please with joy in our heart, let's make welcome the Director General of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Segun Ajayi Kadri, MNI. Please let's put our hands together for him. Thank you so much, DG. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Amatai. The Honorable Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, the Governor of Lagos State, ably represented by the Honorable Commissioner for Commerce, Industry, and Cooperatives, and of course, a great friend of mine. My brother, the DG of the Raw Materials Research and Development Council, a veritable partner. The Vice Chairman of NASENI, ably represented. Our erudite former DG of NOTAP. The President of MAN. The Honorary Treasurer of MAN, and our esteemed former Vice President of Lagos Zone. Esteemed partners and sponsors, namely Shell Energy, Secure ID, my dear sister, Zenith Bank, and Jubali Bros. Our gallant members, our cherished exhibitors, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start this vote of thanks by acknowledging that when we were about to start, this hall was a quarter full. Now we are full, which means that we are making progress. To go far in life, we must be grateful for the sacrifices made by those from whom we receive. We have received unquantifiable support from you all, and we are indeed very grateful. As we draw this opening ceremony to a close, I would like to reiterate our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us at the 2025 edition of NME Niram Expo. Your enthusiastic participation at this segment
has set the tone for what promises to be an enthralling 3 days of exposition and conversations around value chain optimization to deliver on economic self-reliance and enhance industrialization. This Expo is more than just an event. It is a celebration of innovation, collaboration, and the shared vision we all hold for the future of manufacturing in Nigeria. It serves as a platform for us to appreciate the place of cutting-edge technology and innovation in the productive sector of our economy. It will also showcase the remarkable journey we have traveled in the path of localization of raw material sourcing. We shall be seeing some of the products and services our industries have to offer, while also fostering the connections needed to drive growth and development. We are at a pivotal moment in our journey as a nation. The challenges we face are significant, but I'm confident that our resolve and determination will turn these challenges into opportunities. As manufacturers, we must embrace modern technologies, sustainability practices, and adaptive strategies to not only compete locally, but also at the global stage. These discussions and networking opportunities this Expo provides will undoubtedly lead to fruitful partnerships and initiatives that will contribute to the growth and diversification of our economy. Let us utilize these platforms to share knowledge and cross-fertilize on innovation and technology advancement. Let us inspire one another and collaborate on ways to overcome the obstacles we face and to grow our economy. As we proceed through the 3 days ahead, I urge each of you to engage fully, share ideas, and explore the various exhibits and actively engage the presentations. Together, we should forge a path that will not only transform our industries, but also empower our entrepreneurs to localize technology and raw material sourcing, ultimately to uplift our nation. In closing, I want to, in particular, express my appreciation to the Honorable Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology. We also urge him to prepare for our plan to tremendously upscale the status of the Expo in the next edition. Our keynote speaker, we thank you for honoring our invitation and for doing excellently well to the subject matter. We remain indebted to our sponsors and partners for their support, without which we will not have embarked on this journey. We have fittingly displayed your corporate identities and hope that you find fulfillment on this score. Your wavering support has been the wind beneath our wings. I offer my deepest appreciation to you all. Your belief in the potentials of Nigerian manufacturing is a testament to the age-long adage, he who plants a seed today reaps a harvest tomorrow. I assure you that your investment in our endeavors today will yield bountiful returns. Mr. President, you have been exceptional in your commitment to the Expo, and through you, we convey our sincere appreciation to the Expo and the Council. To my brother, the DG of Raw Material Research and Development Council and his team, we thank you for all that you have done to ensure that we share this partnership for the greatness of our country. To my colleagues who served on the organizing committee, together with our brothers and sisters in Raw Material Research and Development Council, our consultants, I say well done and encourage you to stay focused in the remaining days. To everyone who has worked tirelessly to host this Expo, your dedication and hard work are fully commendable. If you want to go far, work together. Let us all move forward and work together to build a resilient and competitive manufacturing sector in Nigeria. I thank you all and welcome you once again to our NME Niram Expo 2025. God bless you.
Thank you so much, DG. Please kindly remain on stage. I'd like to crave the indulgence of all our dignitaries. have a quick group photograph, and this stage appears to be the perfect one. So we'll take it in session. I'd like to invite the Honorable Minister, the President of MAN, the DG RMRDC, the Lagos State Governor. Kindly please come up stage for the first set of photographs. Then after which, we will take the next set with our sponsors. Then after the sponsor set, we'll take with all the dignitaries who are seated in front. And very quickly, I'd like to acknowledge one. Yes, the keynotes, yes. I beg your pardon. Dr. Coker, please join us. One person who has been acknowledged by the president, by the minister, and by every important person in this room is the former DG NOTAP and former SSG, Engineer Umar Binder. Please, we acknowledge you. We value your presence. FNSE, FNAENG. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence. Thank you. Please, let's put our hands together for him. Thank you so much, sir. So once we're done with this, the next set will be with our sponsors, that Shell and Secure ID. Shell, Nigeria Gas, and Secure ID will join. All right, thank you. Can we have the Shell rep, Secure ID CEO? Then we'll have all our dignitaries who are seated in front join the last batch. And I'd like for Engineer Omar Bindel to kindly join them for this next set. We'll have every other dignitary who are seated in front will kindly join them upstage for the last round of photograph. So let's get the ribbon area set. Once they leave the stage, the Honorable Minister, joined by the Lagos State Governor and all the dignitaries, would lead the tour of exhibition. And I believe all our exhibitors are ready to engage them and tell them all the value and laudable initiative and innovation they have in store. So paparazzis, let me know when you are done so that, please let's have the ribbon there. We'll have the cutting of the ribbon happen to officially open the NME Niram Expo 2025. All right, so the Honorable Minister would lead, the Governor of Lagos State will join. Your Excellency, you might need this mic to, yes. All right, so please let's clear the aisle. Our dignitaries are approaching the ribbon cutting area. And to the glory of God, we are witnessing the beginning and the opening, official opening of the 2025 NME Niram Expo. From the agenda, after this, we move on to the next session. So the Honorable Minister has the floor now.
Okay. On the mandate given to me by the President and Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as the Minister of Innovation and Technology, we today, for the benefit of our people and for the glory of God, commission this Nigerian Manufacturers and Equipment Expo and Nigerian Raw Material Expo open to the glory of God.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency and dignitaries. I believe...
Thank you very much. Okay, sorry. Okay. We shall commence the tour of the exhibition booths. And the Honorable Minister of Innovation, Science and Tech will be leading. Other dignitaries to inspect the booths. So we'll start from here. This is Secure ID.
I guess the program is not over yet. We have a very important session that starts at 1:10. So you can as well also tour the exhibition area and see what other exhibitors are doing. And at 1:10 we convene. You could also use this moment to stretch. At exactly 1:10 we start the other session that speaks to adopting cutting-edge equipment in manufacturing. Moderator, the session speaker, and other panelists are ready. All things being equal, we should be done at 2:15 or 2:30 thereabouts. Thank you so much for being present at this event. We value your presence. Thank you.